Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's video I'll be going over the type of cybersecurity questions usually come up in a cybersecurity interview. So the most basic question they start with is, tell me about yourself. When it comes to this type of question, you basically have to give them the basic info about yourself, but you also need to relate that when it comes to what type of job interview are you giving. So for example, if they asked a similar question to me, I'll be like, hey, my name is Aman Verma, I graduated from blah 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 university, and I'm a confident, fast working individual, and attentive team worker. I can help keep your organization safe from cyber attacks. I also have excellent communication skills, which is gonna help me deliver and make other people understand complex issues in a very easy and simple manner. So this type of stuff, that's how you want to answer to their question. Keep it professional, but also not too professional. Otherwise it looks like you're reading off from like a book or something, or you copied something from internet. Keep it natural, but also keep it professional. You need to have the right amount of balance. The second type of question they can ask you is like, what was your role during your internship, if you did any internship related to cloud or cybersecurity. And then you can tell them my role when I was doing the internship was acting as a liaison between the senior software engineer of the company and the developers in the company. I was helping them, recommending the best practices when it comes to writing code, stuff like that. We used to have daily stand-ups, and how was your daily routine when you were doing your internship. I was working closely with the developers team, looking for vulnerabilities in their code, help them protect from attacks, stuff like that, making sure the data is secured. When it comes to PHI and PII data, so PHI is basically public health information, and PII is personal information. So this type of technical terms you can also use when you're giving the interview. So the panel which is taking your interview can they can have an idea, okay, that maybe they know some technical stuff, and they also know some technical terms also when it comes to the type of interview you're giving. So that's also very beneficial. They can ask you about, do you know anything about HIPAA regulations, which basically works with health information when it comes to the healthcare industry. So that's most of the companies these days ask you about the personal data and HIPAA regulations. So if you don't know about that, I would highly recommend just go through some of the documents and read about it. Why is it important? What, as a cybersecurity person, why do you need to know about that? Just go through these basic informations before your interview, and it's gonna help you a lot. And they can also ask you why you want to work for our company, and you can this question, why you want to work for our company, basically helps them look into how deeply you have researched before the interview about their company. Are you really serious about this job or not? The type of work they do, how is it impacting the lives of common people? You need to relate that when you're giving the interview. And you can tell them, your company is really innovative, creative, the type of work that you guys do, like your recent project. For example, you did this, helped this community, and I would love to be a part of it. I also have experience in that type of project. So you need to somehow relate whatever experience you have when it comes to your type of field into whenever the type of interview you're giving. So these type of small details, they're gonna help you a lot. You can also include, like, I'm looking for a company where I can work for a really long term, where I can work for a long period of time. I don't want to switch jobs, and so basically just extensively searching on the company is gonna also help you a lot. They can ask you about basic questions like define cybersecurity, and you can tell, like, cybersecurity is, it refers to the protection of IT systems, interconnected systems, hardware, software, from cyber attacks, basic stuff. They can ask you a question about cryptography. What is cryptography? It's a method to transform and transmit confidential data in an encoded way. So stuff like that. Just make sure you know basic questions. One of the questions that comes a lot in the interviews also, what is the difference between threat, vulnerability, and risk? This question comes a lot in the interview. They ask this question. Most of the companies I interview for, they ask me this question. So you need to extensively know the difference between them, and give an example. The threat is basically the robber who's gonna rob the bank, and when it comes to the vulnerability is gonna be, suppose if there's no security guard at the bank, when it comes to security, that's your vulnerability. And risk, what's going to be the risk? The money, the people's money, the bank's money, which is stored, is the risk. So these type of examples are gonna understand you better, and also make you also help you to understand the other people better, and what are you basically trying to convey, what type of information you're trying to convey. So this is also question comes a lot. Difference between intrusion detection system and intrusion prevention systems. You can talk about how intrusion detection systems only detects when it comes to any intrusions, but it doesn't prevent. But when it comes to intrusion prevention system, it also prevents the type of intrusion. It can also detect the type of intrusions, and also they can also ask you many stuff about recent hacks or recent attacks. So you need to be really updated when it comes to that. You can also look into podcasts. Like in my other videos, I've mentioned like listening to podcasts is really good. Following a Reddit page is really good. It's gonna help you to be updated when it comes to the cybersecurity trends and hacks that are coming these days. So that will definitely help you a lot. You should look into it. And they also ask, this is a really basic question, they ask you about CIA triad, which is confidentiality, integrity, availability. You need to explain each of those, what it means. And they can ask you stuff about difference between hashing and encryption. That's a really good question, and it comes a lot. And you need to answer that. So the answer is going to be hashing and encryption. They both are used to convert data into an unreadable format, but the basic difference is that encrypted data can be transformed into original data, whereas when it comes to hashed data, it cannot be processed back to the original data. So these type of small things, make sure your concepts, your basic concepts are clear, because these type of questions, they just focus on these little things. And if you don't know about these small things, the interviewer can easily know that, okay, like they don't know about this. So make sure you go through these questions. And the next type of questions can also be like difference between vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. And they can ask you to define any terms. They can even ask you for port numbers. They can ask you what type of different attacks are there, like cross-site scripting and cross-site forgery, and what's the difference between them. One more question that comes a lot is explain the three-way handshake process. So these type of questions, they ask, they're always, most of the time, they're when it comes to the interview process. So make sure you go through these type of questions. I can also include a link. I'll make a document and I'll put all these type of questions with the answers. You can go through them. There are also a bunch of other links on Google. You can find a document and go through the type of questions which usually comes in an interview process, and you can go through them. You also try to just do a mock interview. do a mock interview. It's going to help you a lot, because you already know what they're going to ask, and if they ask the same question, you already know the answer to it and how to frame it. So it's going to help you a lot, and it's going to tremendously boost your confidence when you're giving the interview. So these type of questions, go through these type of questions. I'll include the link down below in the video description. Go through them, and I'm pretty sure you'll be very comfortable when it comes to reviewing those questions, answering them, and then giving your interview. I hope you guys like this video, and if you guys need any more type of content, any specific type of video that you want me to dive deep and talk about it, I can definitely do that. Please let me know on the comment section down below. Subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and wish you best luck when it comes to your interviews. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a good one. Bye bye.